welcome to another episode of Box Office Battles, and let's get right into it. Alright, here we are back for another episode of Box Office Battles. Now, recently we saw The Flash come into theaters, and it is getting demolished by Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. $55 million opening weekend for The Flash, but Spider-Verse has a $120 million opening weekend, which is over double of what The Flash had. So, yeah, this is most likely going to be the last day where The Flash is wearing the crown for the highest box office movie of the day. But tomorrow, Spider-Man is going to overtake once again, just like it did whenever Transformers came out. Transformers got one day where it was king, and then Spider-Man destroyed them. This movie, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, doing incredibly well. Probably going to stop at around $600 million, is my guess. It has dropped theaters one time so far, but it's still got 3,800 and is still getting $1,500 per theater, which is another thing about The Flash, is that it has more theaters than Spider-Verse. So if they had the same amount of theaters right now, then Spider-Verse would be winning. But the only reason The Flash has this many theaters is because it's brand spanking new. Overall, though, it's not doing terrible. Just compared to Spider-Man, doesn't hold a grudge at all. I'm not sure if that made sense, but I'm gonna pretend like it did. Another release that we saw recently was Elemental. This movie is also not doing the best compared to Spider-Man. This movie was predicted to be a real box office hit, but it's just not that. It's made $50 million in its first 4 days, had a $29 million opening weekend. That is pathetic. And yeah, it's only got 4,035 theaters. It's not looking great for this movie. Already down to $1,300 average theaters. And, yeah, not looking good. But a movie that is looking pretty good that came out recently is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's grossed over $800 million, which is about as much as the other Guardians films, and it has not been out for quite as long as the others had. We are down to 2,200 theaters for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and it's still getting $1 million a day. This movie will probably stop at around the $850 million mark, because it's doing really well, and I do not see it going out of theaters anytime soon. And yeah, definitely outperforming the last MCU movie, that being Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, that didn't even reach 500 million. Now, The Little Mermaid not doing quite as well. Sure, it had a great opening weekend, but it quickly fell off after that, to the point where now Spider-Verse has grossed more than this movie has, and this movie has been out for longer, so yeah, not looking great. But yeah, that's basically all I've got to talk about today in box office battles. I guess we could talk about Fast and the Furious 10. It's doing really well. 678 million, not bad. Probably gonna stop at around 690-ish, not sure. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.